You're listening to Keith Sports News. Hello. That's right. Welcome to a special Thursday edition of KSN. Yes, I decided to do an episode on Thursday instead of the usual Friday. Mainly for one reason. You hear that music playing in the background? Yeah, once in a while I'll play a different music at the beginning and the end of a KSN episode. Well, if you're a baseball fan, you should know that theme music. That's right. The main reason why I decided to do a special Thursday edition of KSN is because today is opening day for Major League Baseball, and that's why I am wearing this shirt. If you're watching the video, look what it says. 1978 All-Star League. Looks like it's Dodger blue. Yep, because they are the World Series champions. So yes. And I'm in the same room from the last two episodes. I'm at a different spot. Okay. The last two episodes I was actually over there. Okay. Where the webcam's facing this way. Now it's facing the opposite direction. All right. So yeah, episode 27 on March 27. Yes, MLB Opening Day is today. The real opening day, okay? So, the time has come. The season begins. The real opening day begins today. So, you hear that sound? That's the ceiling fan. Alright, well, I can't have that on. I turned it on because I got a little hot in here. Let me tell you, man, the weather in South Louisiana, it seems like summer is going to come like next week. Summer weather is going to come like on April Fool's Day. Like, what the heck? Spring season just begun. Well, I guess spring season's almost over in South Louisiana. So, it is what it is. I am not surprised. So, yep. That's probably why New Orleans doesn't have an MLB team, because the weather sucks. Anyways, so happy opening day to all of you baseball fans out there. And I gotta say, the off season was pretty quick, in my opinion, because I don't think about the season much, you know. I used to be a pretty big fan of the league, but recent years not as much, mainly because of the rule changes. You know, it's not what it used to be, but I understand why they had to do that. But I'm still interested on the season, which is why I like listening to. There's actually 3 shows that really talk about the Major League Baseball season. Those are Baseball Tonight with Buster Olney on the ESPN app. Buster Olney is also part of the Sunday Night Baseball broadcast. He is the field reporter. Okay. Then you got another one I like listening to is the Michael Kay Show. He is the voice of the New York Yankees on the Yes Network, and he's also technically an ESPN broadcaster for the MLB, because for the past couple of years, they would have Michael Kay broadcast the London game on Sunday and one of the wild card games. Okay, last year he did the Detroit Tigers against the Houston Astros wild card series, which was kind of weird for him. But the year before he did the Toronto Blue Jays against the Minnesota Twins, and the year before that he did the Philadelphia Phillies against the St. Louis Cardinals. And sometimes he does a special edition of Sunday Night Baseball, him along with Alex Rodriguez, or A-Rod for short, yes, the great Yankee player. Okay. Sometimes I do watch that if I have the time or if I remember that they're on. It's basically like their own Manning cast version of Sunday Night Baseball, except it's not as great as the Manning cast, you know? So, yeah. And then, in my opinion, the greatest sports talk show of all time, Mad Dog Russo, Christopher Mad Dog Russo. Yes. So that is mainly where I get my baseball news from, those three shows that I like listening to, okay? And they would all talk to each other. I remember, sometimes Michael Kay would have Buster Olney on. Sometimes he'll also have Mad Dog Russo on his show as well. So yeah, all three of those guys would talk about the season. And now the season is here. So, yeah, I mentioned this, the off season went by quick because I just don't think about the league during the off season. I'm the same with the NFL. Right now it's the NFL off season, and I don't really care much about what's going on. The only thing I'm really looking forward to during the off season is the NFL draft. And that's not until another month from now. We still got a whole month until the draft. So until then, I don't want to hear much about the NFL. Anyways, yes, it is opening day. And let me tell you something. Yes, it's exciting. Opening day is an exciting day. It is. But I have a problem with opening day. For this year mainly, opening day is the same day as the March Madness Sweet 16. I have a problem with that. You have opening day during March Madness Sweet 16. Not a good idea. Let me tell you something. Years ago, when I used to be a big fan of the MLB, opening day would be on a Sunday. However, there would only be 1, 2, or 3 games on a Sunday, and then all the other teams would play the following day, Monday. That was better. I wish it was like that. That would be better, in my opinion, because, yeah, I know Monday is a school day and a work day, but so is a Thursday. Recent years, opening day is on a Thursday. Okay? Although although I heard that a lot of people do take the day off for that day, especially the people that go to the games. Okay? But for this year, you have it during March Madness Sweet 16. Not a good idea. And normally, opening day wouldn't be this early. Back then, opening day would be the first week of April. This is the last week of March, so it's like a week early. So, but yeah, I liked it. I prefer it being it on a Sunday and a Monday opening day because, on a Monday, you're not competing with any other sport really, because the NBA and NHL, their playoffs have not begun yet. They still got a couple of weeks left of the regular season until they start their playoffs. So, yeah, man. People would also call opening day opening weekend because, you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But you also got March Madness, Sweet 16, and the Elite Eight. In my opinion, not a good idea. It would have been better if opening day began a week from today, next Thursday. Or, like I mentioned, it used to be on a Monday, next Monday. That would have been better. And I know you're probably thinking I'm over-exaggerating saying that stuff, but what I'm saying is the truth. Opening day used to be on a Monday. And I like it like that, It's always around April Fool's Day, but recent years, it's before April Fool's Day, and it's on a Thursday. I'm not sure why they made that change, but it is what it is. So, opening day is today, and I'm going to try and watch the first ESPN game of the final year. Yep, sadly, this is ESPN's final season broadcasting MLB games. First one is the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the New York Yankees at Yankee Stadium with the return of Joe Buck. Speaking of Joe Buck, I listened to him. He was on Mad Dog Russo the other day, and I listened to that whole interview segment. Entertaining. He was also on the Michael K show, but I haven't listened to that yet. I will listen to it either. But when I say later, probably after this episode, okay? Because remember, guys, if y'all forget, I record these episodes the night before I release them. So I'm releasing this on a Thursday. I'm recording this late Wednesday night. Well, actually, right now, as I speak, it is 12:42 a.m. So it is technically a Thursday, but you know what I mean. I normally don't record this late, but I had to tonight. It was like a last-second decision. Otherwise, I would have done it on Thursday night and talk about it on Friday. But I think it's better if I were to do this special Thursday edition instead of Friday. Okay? So I'm going to try and tune in for that game. We'll see how Joe Buck does. Basically, they asked him to come back, and he said yes. It's funny because they didn't ask him to come back last year, the year before, and the year before that, because I was hoping the year he signed with ESPN, which was 2022, I was hoping he would be broadcasting some baseball games and one of the wild card series on ESPN. But no, he never did that. Although at the time he said that he did not really miss calling games. But I guess he sort of does now because this is over 3 years. Over 3 years since his last MLB game, the World Series in 2021 on Fox. And I would also say that was the last good year on Fox. Ever since, it wasn't the same for me. To me, the MLB on Fox died after Joe Buck left. I'm sorry to say that. You know, you got no more Matt Vasgersian. What happened to Matt Vasgersian? I've always liked him. He actually used to be on Fox. For some reason, you know, after he left ESPN, he's really just broadcasting Angels games, Anaheim Angel games. It's kind of weird. Maybe he lives in Anaheim. I don't know. But I've always liked him. So, anyways, I'll watch that. Brewers against the Yankees with Joe Buck on the call. And that's only on ESPN. So if you're a Brewers fan or a Yankees fan, you cannot watch those games on your local team's broadcast channel. It's only on ESPN. And I mentioned this before. Michael Kay is disappointed. Michael Kay is the Yankees announcer. And he said that he's disappointed because he can't be part of opening day because it's only on ESPN. That kind of sucks for him. But at the same time, he's also happy for Joe Buck to come back. But he said he's going to be at the game as a fan. So, good for him, I guess. So, they do that on purpose, you know. Fox, Saturday Night Baseball, they do that like a bunch of times. So, the LA Dodgers, the World Series champions, they would normally get that prime time ESPN game. They usually do that for the World Series champions, and they're going to be doing that again. They'll be taking on the Detroit Tigers. That's kind of weird. You have two games on ESPN, interleague games, meaning you got two teams playing against each other from different leagues. I'm not a fan of that. Back when I was a big fan of it, I kind of did like it like that. But what I don't like about it is that every team is playing all the teams on their schedules. Why? Well, I know why. For the money. It's obviously that it's all about the money. Everything's about the money. It is. It's the truth. You just got to deal with it, you know. TV revenue. I get it. But, you know, back then, when I was a big fan of it, they would play more division games. And I thought, because, you know, you have divisions, you have 5 teams in each division. So your favorite team has to play against these 4 other teams in the same division a bunch of times. Well, it used to be like that. And I thought back then, man, why are they playing so many division games? But recent years, when they made that change, playing less division games and having all the teams play against all the other teams, not a fan of that. I prefer them going back to what it used to be, playing more division games, because I realize, winning your division is very important. Now the divisions don't mean as much because they also expanded the postseason. Back then, there would be how many teams in the playoffs? 10. 5 from each league. Now it's 12. I hope they don't expand it anymore. Please don't turn it into the NHL and NBA playoffs where half the teams get in. I don't want that to happen. But I am still intrigued. However, I'm not going to watch games every night. That's why I like listening to those podcasts to keep me updated. I do the same thing with pro wrestling, Busted Open on SiriusXM. the road to WrestleMania. I don't watch the WWE shows on a weekly basis. I might watch some videos, but not the whole show. Instead, I rather listen to my favorite show of them talking about it on what happened. Okay, I like that. I do the same thing with these baseball shows. All right. But anyways, what I usually do every year before the season starts, or I should say right when the season begins, I mentioned divisions, right? I'm going to give you my division winners for both leagues, okay? So there's 3 divisions in each league. There's 6 divisions total. I'm going to give you my predictions on the divisions, okay? Which team will come in first place in the division, second place, third, fourth, and last. All right? And usually, whenever I do that, it doesn't go well. Just like March Madness. Well, it's actually, March Madness is much worse when it comes to my filling out my bracket and stuff. All right. So, let's start off with the American League East. The team that I have winning the East is the Boston Red Sox. That's right. The Boston Red Sox are coming back. I think they're going to be a great team this year. Sometimes they're really good. Sometimes they're not good. Okay? And whenever they are good, you better watch out for that team in the postseason because they could go all the way. That happened back in 2018. So, well, they were the best team in 2018. It wasn't even close. But I have them winning the East. I have the Yankees in second, New York Yankees in second. I have the Baltimore Orioles in third. So it either comes down to Toronto Blue Jays or the Tampa Bay Rays. Remember, the Tampa Bay Rays will not be playing in Tropicana Field. They'll be playing in a minor league ballpark. The what's it called? George Steinbrenner Field. That's where the Yankees play in spring training. It's gonna be weird. I'll say Toronto fourth and Tampa last. But I could switch it around. It might be Tampa fourth, Toronto last. I hope Toronto does well because like I mentioned before, I get the Canadian sports channels and they would mainly talk about Toronto sports. So I do wish the Blue Jays well. It's going to be weird watching the Tampa Bay Rays games when they play at home. Because throughout the season, it gets hot in Tampa. It rains a lot in Tampa. That's going to be an issue. Hopefully, it's just this one season. See, they could have or should have built that new stadium sooner in Tampa. The new Tampa Stadium, I think it's going to be ready in 2 years. They could have done it sooner. And last year, terrible hurricane that tore the roof off of Tropicana Field. And this is what they get. They could not repair the roof in time. That's a shame. What happens if the Tampa Bay Rays make the postseason? Will they play their playoff games in that minor league ballpark? If the roof is still not ready by then? I guess the answer would have to be yes. I don't know where else would they play. All right, to the American League Central. The team I have winning the Central. The Central can go, it's going to come down to 4 teams. I think we all know which team will come in last place. I'll just say this right now, the Chicago White Sox are going to be in last place. I heard that team is not really improving. That team had the worst record in modern era history. Can they win 50 games this year? I don't know. Can they win 45? If they win 45, that means they're going to lose 100 and what? 17? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that team's going to come in last again. All right, how about we do which team will come in fourth place? I have the Minnesota Twins in fourth. In third, I have the Detroit Tigers. Second, Kansas City Royals. First, Cleveland Guardians. You never know about that division. It's really good. I think those four teams, Minnesota, Kansas City, Detroit, Cleveland, I think any of those four teams can win that division. I'll be surprised if Chicago White Sox doesn't go in last place. The American League West. Jeff Passan, ESPN insider for the MLB, he said he had the Texas Rangers winning the American League. I'm like, what? Okay. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, he said he's not confident, but all right, this will be very interesting. You know, the Houston Astros are really my favorite team because they are the closest team to where I live. However, I hate to say this, but I think their golden era has come to an end. You know, their golden era was from 2017 to 2023. Man, I enjoyed those years. It was fun while it lasted. And I don't count 2020. I don't count 2020 for any sports season. Sorry, I don't. But still, that team was fun to watch. And I know a lot of people don't like that team because of what happened back in 2017, but can we get over that now? Come on, guys, get over it. That's over 7 years ago. And if you're still pissed off about it, move on. Get over it. Enough is enough. That's a different roster. There's only one player that is still on that roster. That's Jose Altuve. So you can boo him. Don't boo the rest of the players. You can boo Altuve all you want, but don't boo the rest of the players because those players had nothing to do with the 2017 team. I don't want to hear it. No more of that. Anyways, it's just unfortunate that they got caught, but it is what it is. There's a lot of cheaters in baseball anyways. That's life. Okay. Winning the American League West, I'm going to go with the Seattle Mariners. The only team that has not gone to a World Series. They had this one season where they won a ton of games and they didn't make the World Series. I believe that was in 2000 or 2001. They lost to the New York Yankees in the American League Championship Series. And after that, man, I believe that the Seattle Mariners did not make a postseason appearance in like 20 straight years. That's crazy. I have them winning. I have the Texas Rangers in second, Houston Astros third. Oh boy, it's going to come down to the Oakland A's or the Anaheim Angels. I'll go Anaheim Angels fourth, Oakland A's fifth. Now remember, the Oakland A's are also in a minor league ballpark. Somehow they decided that last year would be their last year in the Coliseum. Even though they could easily still be playing in the Coliseum until they move to Vegas. Yes, they're moving to Vegas, I believe, in 2 or 3 years because Vegas is building a new stadium. Yeah. A couple years ago, the Oakland Raiders moved to Vegas. And in a few years, the Oakland A's will move to Vegas. Or I guess they're still gonna be called the A's or the Athletics. The Vegas Athletics, the Vegas A's. That's weird. Anyways, I hope the Angels do better. Come on, we want to see Mike Trout in the postseason. Come on. Because he's getting older. Eventually, he's going to get too old for this, you know? If he gets healthy, we'll see, man. That's the thing, man, baseball. You play 162 games, and a lot of the players get hurt. Some of the players, they get hurt for a while. You just never know what's going to happen. All right, to the National League East. I have the Philadelphia Phillies in first. Second, this is a tough one. National League East is tough. Just like the American League East. I think that'll be tough too. I have the Phillies in first, mainly because Philly is crazy, especially after the Eagles won the Super Bowl. I'm saying that to be nice. I have the New York Mets in second. Atlanta Braves, my least favorite team, in case if you don't know that. Third place. Miami Marlins fourth. Washington Nationals fifth. The Washington Nationals actually used to be my favorite team before I became a permanent Houston Astros fan. All right. The National League Central. This will also be interesting, just like the American League Central. The Cincinnati Reds manager is Terry Francona, or Tito Francona. He's back he's coming out of retirement to be the new manager for the Cincinnati Reds. So I hope that team does better. This is wide open. I think I can see any of these teams winning the Central. I'm going to go with the Chicago Cubs winning that division. I have the Cubs in first, even though they lost the first two games in Tokyo. But I think their roster is the best out of all the other teams. Again, it all depends on the injuries, which players get injured. This is a tough one. I'll go with Milwaukee Brewers second. Cincinnati Reds third. Pittsburgh Pirates fourth. St. Louis Cardinals fifth. Pittsburgh Pirates, I got that great pitcher Paul Skeens from LSU. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on him. And the National League West, well, I think we all know which team will win that division. The World Series champions, the LA Dodgers. It won't be close. The team that will come in second place won't be even close to the LA Dodgers. I have the San Diego Padres in second, Arizona Diamondbacks third, San Francisco Giants fourth, and Colorado Rockies last. So there you have it. Those are my division predictions of the season. And some people predict the World Series. They would pick two teams winning the leagues, and that would be their World Series. I think it was like 2 years ago, Buster Olney had the San Diego Padres against the Seattle Mariners in his World Series. That was like the most unpredictable prediction I've ever heard. I believe someone last year had the Phillies against the Yankees, including me. Yeah. I believe that was my World Series prediction when I did the bracket challenge. Anyways, the team I have winning the American League, I'm going to go with the Boston Red Sox because I said earlier, watch out. When that team gets hot, it seems like they're unstoppable. That's usually what happens. And the National League, well, I did answer this question, do I have the LA Dodgers or the field? And last year, I actually said the LA Dodgers, and they won the World Series. This year, however, I'm saying the field because it is hard to win back-to-back championships. Now the question is, do I have the LA Dodgers losing the World Series? Well, I am confident they will go to the National League Championship Series. So either I have them losing in the NLCS or the World Series. Okay, I'll give you my NLCS prediction. I have the LA Dodgers taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. So either my World Series will be Red Sox against Phillies or Red Sox against Dodgers. Hey, those will be high ratings, whichever one. I'll go with I don't know, man. National League, man, that's tough. I'll say Red Sox and Phillies. That's my World Series. So, and I have the Red Sox winning. Anyways, so hey, it's gonna be a good season. I'll try to watch some games from time to time, depending on what else is happening in sports. But right now, there is a lot going on in sports. So, another thing, March Madness. That's right, March Madness resumes. Yes, wow, I'm already at 37 minutes this episode. This is why this is a special edition here on Thursday. All right. So March Madness resumes tonight. Sweet 16. Okay. Yeah, all right, so we got BYU taking on Alabama, Maryland taking on Florida, Arizona taking on Duke, and Arkansas taking on Texas Tech. Okay, so I did my second bracket challenge. Yes, if for those of you that did your bracket challenge on ESPN, they had a second chance for the Sweet 16 and beyond. So let's see if I can find that here. My main bracket. Is not doing, it's doing okay. The percentage is at 70.3. I made 7 brackets. Bracket number 1 is really my main bracket, and the 5 other brackets are really just random, and 2 of them are doing well. One of them I have Duke winning the whole thing, and the other one I also pick Auburn as well. The one that I have Duke winning, the percentage is at 94.3, but it's funny because I'm ranked 1,361,893. It's because you can make a lot more. You can make up to 25 entries, which is insane. That's a lot of entries, but I didn't make 25. I made 6. So, but yes, I made a second chance bracket, and I did 3 this time. So that's half of 6, okay? The first one is my main bracket, and the second and third they're not random, but it's basically me changing some of my predictions. So 2 of them I have Duke winning, and the third one I have Florida winning. I'll be surprised if Duke if neither Duke, Florida, or Auburn wins the whole thing. All right. So we'll see what happens. Okay. And then Friday, the other half of the Sweet 16, we have Ole Miss taking on Michigan State, Kentucky taking on Tennessee, an all-SEC matchup, Michigan taking on Auburn, and Purdue taking on Houston. I mean, those are all interesting matchups. We'll see how Arkansas does, because Arkansas, they won their first 2 games as the underdog. So I hope that team goes all the way. That would be awesome if that team goes all the way. I hope that team goes all the way. I mean, I had them losing to Kansas, and I also had them losing to St. John's. They're playing Texas Tech. They're going to be the underdogs once again, and I have them losing again. But they might win again. They might win again. I think Duke's going to crush Arizona. I think Florida's going to beat Maryland. I think Alabama's going to beat BYU. I have Michigan State beating Ole Miss. I have Tennessee beating Kentucky. I have Auburn beating Michigan. And I have Houston beating Purdue. So most of the favorite teams, I have them winning. And then Saturday and Sunday will be the Elite Eight, which means I'll be back on Monday to recap this crazy big weekend in sports. All right. And if you're wondering if I follow women's March Madness, I really don't, because the problem is that their tournament is during the same days, or most of them. Most of their tournament is during the men's tournament. It should not be like that. The men's tournament, okay, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The women's tournament should be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So Thursday would be both men's and women's. Or you can do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Meaning Sunday would be both days. That would be better. Why can't they do it like that? That would be better. Just like I mentioned earlier, MLB Opening Day used to be on a Monday. That would be better if it was on a Monday. You know? That's why I don't follow the women's tournament, with all due respect, you know. Although I do hear some news. A player, I heard that earlier this week, I think it was a USC player. She tore her ACL. Oh my gosh. And you know what? I was watching TSN Sports Center. I think it was a Canadian soccer player. I don't know his name. But he also tore his ACL. What the heck? Dude, what is with these injuries? Bro, we might have some baseball player tearing his ACL on opening day. If that happens, oh my gosh. You know, that's also the main reason why I did not want to become an athlete. Dealing with injuries. No thank you. Yeah, I know when you become a big athlete star, you're going to be rich. That's great, and you get to travel around the world. But those injuries, man, nah, I don't have what it takes. I don't have what it takes, so I'd rather sit back and watch the events for my entertainment, just like a lot of you are doing the same. So those injuries, man. And I know baseball, we're gonna have quite a bit of the players are gonna get hurt, mainly the pitchers. Yeah, that's life, man. At this point, that's just the life of being an athlete. Whatever sport, pretty much every sport, you're gonna get hurt at some point. It is what it is, man. All right. So, let me get back to the MLB real quick. I forgot to mention this. This just popped into my head. Here's another thing that I find stupid. So, Thursday is opening day. All the teams are playing. Okay? Most of them are in the afternoon at the same time. Here's what's stupid. Friday, the next day, there's less games. Why is there less games on Friday than Thursday? You might as well have Friday being opening day. I'm gonna count how many Friday games there are. So there's 30 teams, meaning all the teams are playing on Thursday. So that's 15 games. Friday, how many games there are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's it on a Friday? And I noticed it was like that the past couple of seasons. Why are they doing it like that? Normally, every team plays on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you got quite a bit of the teams will have a day off on Friday after playing one game. What the heck what are they doing? This is why sports schedules suck sometimes. It sucks. It sucks, man. It does suck. Oh yeah, Arkansas, they have to play at 9 p.m. tonight. And the reason why is because they're playing in San Francisco. Okay, that makes sense. But damn, they have to wait. Arkansas and Texas Tech fans, they have to wait until 9 o'clock. They have to stay up late to watch their team. That sucks. That sucks. Hey, man. See, this is one thing that me and Christopher Mad Dog Russo does. Criticizing the schedule. Yeah, I like when he does it, because when he does it, sometimes he rants and it's funny. Yeah, so is March Madness, I know every year the championship game's on a Monday night. Is it going to be at 9 p.m. on the East Coast again? Because for the past 2 seasons, these sports talk shows that I would listen to on a weekly basis, they would criticize that. If they're doing it again, that means they are not listening to their fans. Okay, then. All right. Let me see if there's any other big news I want to talk about before I save this big news for last. I don't think so. Okay, we are at 48 minutes. So I talked about the MLB opening day. I gave you my predictions of the divisions, as well as the March Madness Sweet 16. So what else is happening in sports? If you're a tennis fan, the Miami Open is almost coming to an end. It ends this weekend. Congratulations. Let me just say this. Congratulations to the Filipino female player, Alexandria Ayla. I still don't know how to pronounce her last name. It's spelled Eala. She is in the semifinals. She's in the semifinals. Can you believe that? That's crazy. Yeah. Let me tell you what happened. She beat Iga Swiatek, the number 2 seeded player in the world, in 2 sets, 6-2, 7-5. Unbelievable. I couldn't watch that match because I was at work. It was during the daytime. But I thought for sure Iga would win. That is a huge upset. That is a huge upset. This is why I like women's tennis sometimes, because of these upsets. This is like their own March Madness, you know? Yeah, this Filipino player is in the semifinals. I'm pretty sure everyone's going to cheer for her now if your favorite player is not in. If your favorite player got eliminated, you might as well cheer for this youngster. Seriously. That's what I'm going to cheer for her. So, she's in the semifinals, and last night Emma Raducanu took on Jessica Pegula, and Pegula won 6-4, 7-6 tiebreaker, 7-3 for Emma, and Pegula won 6-2. If you don't know this, Jessica Pegula's parents, they both own the Buffalo Bills of the National Football League and the Buffalo Sabres of the National Hockey League. That's crazy. Wow. And she is a pro tennis player, number 4 in the world. Rich family, that's all I got to say. So that means the Filipino player will be taking on Jessica Pegula in the semifinal. Ooh. You know what? I was actually hoping I was actually hoping Emma Raducanu would win her match, because we would have 2 very young players in the tournament. And listen, I love Jessica Pegula, but for once, I'm going to cheer against Jessie Pegula. Sorry, I'm going to cheer against her, which means Jessie's going to win. That's fine. So, and the other semifinal is Aryna Sabalenka against Jasmine Paolini. I have Sabalenka winning that match. So I have Sabalenka against Pegula in the final on Sunday. But who knows? It might be Jasmine Paolini against the Filipino player. All right, guys. That's it. I have to go. I'm actually running out of storage, believe it or not, but it is what it is. See you next time. Enjoy your big sports weekend. See you on Monday.